Well, guys, what do a Henry J and licorice have in common? Absolutely nothing. But this is my supper right now. Don't laugh. True story. So anyway, what I think I'm going to do tonight, or in this video anyway, is I'm going to start mudding the firewall. I'm going to goop it, mud it, sand it, prime it. All in that order. One thing I've learned about body work, either you can be really good at it or really bad. That's a true story. And I'm on the borderline of being dangerous, so yeah, so that's why we're going to start with the firewall. I've already spent a lot of time grinding it and whatnot, so I did went to the local body shop the other day, Derek, Chris, and I. Spent a bunch of money, and yeah, so I'm going to start laying some mud. It's got to happen to make it happen. We're going to make it smooth. The only thing I haven't decided yet, when I do paint this thing, if I want to paint the firewall the same color to match the body or black. I'm just afraid that the, the headers are about 2.5 inches away from the firewall. I don't know if it's going to get hot enough, so I don't know if I should get some sort of fire retardant paint or heat tape paint or whatever. So we'll worry about that right now. But I think what I'm going to do right now is shake my Bondo, and I don't have a Sawzall, and then we're going to start laying it. I got my good old IKEA board here, so it's cheaper than anything else. So it's what I have for the project. So we'll use that nice and clean. Everything's clean, sanitary. And I'm going to eat my licorice, drink my pop, and we'll start laying some mud. Remember, it's January. Subscribe, guys. You know, it doesn't cost you anything. Hit that bell. Do whatever they still say for you guys to do nowadays. But hey, it's January. Okay, I'm going to start mixing up some mud here. It's been a long time since I've done any mud work. But it's like a bicycle. So anyway, I'm going to finish this off, and then we'll get to this. Okay guys, what I'm going to be starting with is this green fiber stuff. It's really heavy duty stuff. That's what Derek recommended to start going over all the parts that I welded. So I'm going to do that. It took me a while to find a scraper, so I just cut an old one. Oh, I haven't done this in a long time, boys and girls. Smells good. Almost as good as burnt gear fluid. Leave that in the comments. What's your favorite automotive smell? Alright, I think this should almost be enough for right now. Alright. Throw some hardener in it, and we'll mix this stuff up. Looks like I know what I'm doing. I'll grab a new squeegee and we'll start laying some mud. I guess I'm not going to get too perfect in here. I'm not worried too much. I do want to look somewhat presentable. And a little tech tip. The more you put on, the more you got to sand off. So there's your tech tip for the day. So, alright, happy with that. And yeah, before I've started all this, I did actually clean all my sheet metal. Perfect. Okay, so you kind of get the gist of it. This is what I'm going to be doing all the way around. I just noticed right there. I got to grind that, so I'll grind that down and I'll start mudding the rest of this. And probably for the bottom there, I'm gonna, yeah, actually, I will seam seal the back of it first and then put some mud in there. But yeah, kind of neat. So anyway, we'll be back. Like I said, I gotta grind this and I gotta finish grinding all that stuff. So I just want to throw some mud on this thing, so that way the next day, probably tomorrow, because I'm actually gonna have real supper soon, I will start sanding. So I'll be back in a little bit here, and we'll show you the progress. Well, guys, as you can see, I've mudded up a little bit more. I put some on the bottom there in the firewall and then underneath here. Sometimes in spots there underneath, you gotta just use your finger. So don't be afraid to, put a bit on there. That's all hard anyway. We gotta schmooze it in with your finger. So like I said, that's what I had to do in here and whatnot. So I think I'm gonna go in for supper. It's been a long day. It's about 8 o'clock right now, so I haven't had much to eat. And to be honest, I don't feel like making too much of a mess tonight. But I got to grind that down, so I'll do that tomorrow night. Remove my column, finish mudding that, take the master cylinder off and do that. And I still got to weld this little guy up. And then we'll do some more mudding, and then by tomorrow it should be nice and hard. I've got a pretty good fire going on in here. But what I got to do tonight is I think I got to go clean up my closet. As wrong as that sounds, but I got to find some camshafts because I know I've got 5 or 6 cams that I got to figure out for that other 327 there. So I'm just going to figure what cam will be working best for me, if I'm going to use hydraulic or mechanical. So I got to go dig that out and see what I've got. So I might put this in this video. We'll see. Probably, because this isn't going to be a very exciting video, even though it does look better right now with just green mud on it. Not gonna lie, it actually does. I don't know what it looks like on camera on your guys' TV or computers or whatnot, but I'm excited. Oh, and I noticed too, I've got to still build a little piece right there, so maybe I'll do that tomorrow night. Don't tell anybody, but Friday I think I'm about maybe playing hooky for half the day. We'll see how it goes. I'm thinking so. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go in for the evening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow the next day. Okay guys, so it's the next day. I sanded a bunch of stuff last night. No point filming it by any means, just sanding is boring and it's tough on the fingers and everything else. Especially knocking this stuff down. I was knocking it down with 40 grit. Derek was here, he was laughing at me. He says the days of doing that stuff without air tools are like done for him, and I tend to agree. But anyway, I had a neat little idea. I was just using the disc grinder with one of the little flapper deals to take off all the highs, and I just sanded it all out. But I know it's not perfect yet, but I'm going to put this stuff on my other Bondo over top of it, so it is pretty good. I did knock all the highs off, so I'll just feather it all out. So yeah, we'll do that, and then I'll work on that side while this Bondo's kind of setting up. Whew. Fancy stuff. Fancy. All right. Fancy looking stuff. Maybe that's why it's so expensive. Price of Bondo? I haven't bought any in a long time. Mucho de Niro's. Oh man, it smells good. It's like icing on a cake. Alright, won't call that good for now. Ultra Gold. Tell you what, it was paying for it. Yep, true story. I'm not going to put a lot in here because I want to work with this for a little while. There we go. Anyway, while I'm doing this, I might as well ramble on for a bit because I always tend to ramble. There's a gentleman, I can't think of his name, I think his name's John, I had it on my phone, but he was asking questions how do we get into cars and whatnot. This is a true story. I like to think this is where I'm screwed up in the head as a young age in the sound box. This is a true story. I made a scrapyard in my sound box with all my dinky cars. I needed shops to put my dinky cars in. I went to the garage, grabbed the sheet, I didn't know what it was, grabbed the sheet, started snapping it up, making it and whatnot, and made little huts. Find out later on in life, it was asbestos. That's a true story. Maybe that is why I'm screwed up in the head. So my plan here, it's not going to be exactly smooth. And face it, people, if this isn't perfect, guess what? You're not going to see most of it anyway. And if it is, I'll put a racing sticker over it. That fix is everything. Oh yeah, that's smooth. I'm very happy with that. So yeah, that's a true story about the whole asbestos deal. As a kid, you don't even know what that stuff is. Oh yeah, I'm happy. This is nice, smooth right out. And no, I wasn't able to play hooky as much as I wanted to, but it's too busy at work. And also too, I'm taking off in a few days. Next week to be exact, so. Couldn't even ramble Derek into doing this. I was gonna, but I'm not sure if he's still here or if he's playing with Bailey. One of the two. I'm pretty happy with that so far. I'm gonna leave. Sometimes you've got to know when to leave it. Like I said, people, IKEA bookshelves make great bodyboards. I'm pretty sure in here there's going to be a little whoop-de-whoop where I welded it. Like I said, I'm not too concerned. The distributor was going to cover all that. I just want it kind of smooth to the eye. And this is just going to be my skim, just to fill in any little imperfections. Thinking I'm probably gonna have to make up some more before this stuff hardens. And I'm thinking while this hardens up, well, I shouldn't really stop talking while we're doing, but I'll take the master cylinder off and grind all this nonsense. Do that. And yeah. And like this, just filling in all my little voids. And I'll kind of give it a little bit of a sand, and probably will need more mud, but like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. All right. All right, gotta sometimes know when to hold it. All right. Then I'm going to go grab a root beer, let this stuff set up, and then I'm going to, I'll take this off, start grinding it. I got to make some of the other schmuck to do that side. All right, we'll be back. Oh, time to go grab a root beer. Boom. Okay, so I got my second coat of mud on it. And everything's turning out not too bad. I put a bunch of, well, I put seam sealer underneath it, and then I put, kind of shaped it down, and then I put the heavy duty green mud on it. So let that stuff set. It's starting to. This stuff here, it's starting to get hard too. So probably going to take a break, let this sit for a little while anyway. Like I said, and then we'll sand this, and I'm thinking by later tonight, if not tomorrow morning, we should be able to put this thing in primer. I still got to make that little piece, so maybe I'll get up, or maybe after supper I'll make that little triangle piece and finish scooping that up and then mud that in. So yeah, and like I said, I've ground all this stuff behind it and just put a little bit of mud on it. Most of this will be gone. So yeah, pretty excited. So Kevin and Ryan have been working on this, or I should say Kevin has been anyway, so he was here yesterday. But anyway, enough about stationary engines. I guess I'll let this stuff set up a little longer, and then we'll start sanding this stuff. I should get some high build, so if I go in the city tonight, maybe I'll stop off and get some high build. pretty excited. Yeah, I haven't decided yet whether should I paint the firewall yet or just leave it in primer. So I'm thinking for right now, just leave it in primer. But I guess enough rambling, and I'll get back to work in a little bit and let this stuff set up. It's like watching paint dry, folks. And it's the next day. It is officially 6 o'clock a.m. on a Saturday morning. So I'm going to go start a fire. It's actually not too bad in here. Got my breakfast, got my drinks. Switching to G2 these days, drinking too much pop, so. But the Bondo's all nice and hard, so give this stuff all a quick sand and see what's what. Oh yeah, I still gotta sand that stuff. So anyway, I guess I'll start a fire with the old Fisher, contemplate my thoughts for this morning, eat my croissants, and yeah, we'll get the sand in. Not bad. So, yeah, I guess we'll do that. Man, 6 o'clock Saturday. Most normal people would be sleeping. Or at the very least watching Penny's Hot Rods and Customs on the YouTube. The TV, as they say. So anyway, I'll get a fire going here and we'll get back to sanding. Looks kind of neat and just in mud. So, oh, and also too, yesterday what I was doing, well, you can't really see, but it's all seam sealed underneath there. Oh, I'm not going to bend over that far, but it's all seam sealed, good to go. So I'll just shoot that in a sealer. Alrighty, we'll get a fire going here and contemplate life. Well guys, it's been about over an hour or so sanding. I think we're going to take a break. Oh, you wear a mask, but man, this stuff still kills you. Whew. So anyway, I'll show you what I've done. Let me just put my drink down. Man, I'm thirsty. Alright. So, maybe I'm starting to get a cold. Maybe it's the dust. I'm going to say probably the dust. Hopefully. So anyway, I've got a lot of the sanding done. It's actually pretty good. I've knocked that down. I'm going to I'll make up some mud and I'll fill that stuff in. And there's a few spots here. I'm just going to lay my finger through there just to smooth it out. And then hand sand it and a little bit of, there's a few spots here and there. What I think I'm going to do when I'm done that, yeah, I'm not going to do it right now, but then when I'm done that and I'll do my rough sanding for this stuff, then I'm going to prime it just to see where I am. I know there's some imperfections already that I know of, but I'll figure that way I'll spray it with high build and then I'll let it sit and then I can add mud to it and work with that. I think that'll be my best bet. I'm pretty happy with the way this is all turned out. I've got some final sanding around here and whatnot. And then, like I said, underneath there, I've got to, it's not going to be perfect underneath there. I'll make it look nice, but you'll never see it anyway. But I'm just going to do it because if not, you know, Kevin will be like, you didn't do this proper. You didn't do that proper. So, kidding. So anyway, like I said, I'll make some mud, put it in there, sand that. Well, I've got most of that stuff done. That stuff's a nightmare. Derek laughed at me when I put this stuff. Well, he uses it all the time too, but it's a bear. I use good old 40 grit. So anyway, like I said, I'll mix some mud up, do that, let it sit. Then I'll make that little triangle piece there and I'll weld it in. And then sand that, and then I'll put it in primer or high build, and then we'll go from there. And then if all the day goes well, which it should, we'll put some my magic color on this, which this car might be. We'll see. I'd like to end the video with the painted firewall and whatnot, so I think that's a goal. It's only let's put this on the ground. Huh. Not even 7:30, so we're doing good. We're doing good. All right. Maybe I'll go pop a Halls, and yeah, we'll get back to sanding. Well, so this happened. I shot it in high build and primer and whatnot. I put a heavy coat on it. I do have a few runs here and there, but I'm going to be sanding sanding it anyway. I did make that corner piece there, and I gooped it in, but I'll put a little bit more butyl in it, or seam sealer afterwards, and the same thing with that seal there. But yeah, that's all mudded. And once it dries, then it can indicate, like I said, I'm not going to make this perfect. I'm not going to spend a million hours on a firewall that's not going to be seen with headers and everything else. But yeah, no, I'm happy with the way the center of the firewall turned out. yeah, not too bad. There's going to be a few little spots I'm going to just touch up, but I think I'm going to go for actually a real breakfast. I might feather that out a little bit. You won't see this anyway because my plate for the steering column covers that anyway, so I might just leave that. We'll see. No point in putting more on if it's just going to get covered. I will address this a lot better in here. I'll just put some Bondo over that and just fix that up a little bit. And like I said, I put quite a bit of heavy paint on here. I'll sand this all out. I've still got quite a bit of sanding. You can start to see it, so kind of knew that. So, but yeah, other than that, I'm pretty happy. I think I'll go for actually a real breakfast. So I'll be back in a bit. And it's coming along not bad. Like I said, it's not going to be perfect. It's a Firewall. You're not going to see most of it anyway, but I do want it to like look presentable anyway. Man, look at all that mess. Dust everywhere. I did clean up a little bit in here, but you know what my hero said? Big mess, big success. Leave that in the comments if you know who says that. The old guys should know. But anyway, I'll be back in a bit, and we'll lightly touch this up a little bit, make it look good. And yeah, then we'll shoot some real paint on it hopefully soon. I'll actually take the time and I'll mask it. I'll sand this off and I'll mask it, and that way this will be my cut line, I guess. Well, the whole car is going to be the same color, but just for right now, because like I said, later on, well, my next video is for sure 100% I'm going to be tackling all this because I want to get this done, jack it up, and I can paint underneath it. But I'm going to do my suspension and figure out shocks, but that'll be I promise that'll be the next video. But then later on after that, then I'll start tackling the bodywork. Like I said, there's a door dent, I don't even want to talk about those fenders, the rear quarters and whatnot. So we're getting there. So anyway, I think I'm gonna go for a break. Been at this for about 2.5 hours, 3 hours already. It is daylight out, so we'll be back in a bit. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. Took a haul, my throat's way better. I think it was just the dust. All right. Well, back from break. Oh, breakfast anyway. So I came back. Well, before I went, I laid some more mud on it. I've come back. I've sanded. I'm happy with it. It's not going to be exactly 100%, but like I said, it's a Firewall. You're not going to see, you know, once the engine and everything else is in there, you'll never really notice it. I am happy with it. It is pretty straight where it needs to be. Sanding on and off, on and off, on and off. Well, not that many times, but anyway, you guys get the gist of it. Anybody that's done this kind of stuff, and like I said, by no means I'm not a professional, so I should put that in the notes. I'm just dangerous enough to know what I'm doing to screw it up or to make it look half-assed decent. So like I said, I will put a lot more attention into the exterior of the body. But so anyway, I guess I'm going to give this thing a good wipe. I did put some more seam sealer in spots and whatnot, and like I said, it's good. I will address the behind there. Like I said, you won't see most of it anyway, but I will clean that up. And then I'll mask this off and we'll put primer on it, then I'll sand it, and then maybe we'll put some paint on it. Well, obviously I'll clean up all this stuff, eh? All right. Time to grab a Coke and we'll start masking this turd off. Actually, it doesn't look too bad. Kind of happy so far. Bodywork is not my forte, that's for sure. Like I said, I'm probably doing it wrong, but it's the way I'm doing it, folks. Well, here's my old original Firewall that came with the car. Like back in the day before I cut all this out, I tried saving the front body mounts off here, but there is no way I can make them work. So like I said, last video there, I made new ones. So I hate to say it, this Firewall now, it can officially go in the garbage. Because I am officially going to call my Firewall done. Are you ready for this? Let me turn it around. Let's see, I'll do this. Ho ho ho. Anyway, it's blue. Pretty bold color. I kind of like it. I wanted something really bright for this car, and I think this will work. Like I've said, I've got a paint scheme for the outside of the car, so I'm thinking this is going to be it. It may look on the camera kind of weird, but in person it actually looks pretty good. I like it. So, and I even put a couple of little speed stickers on it, and no, that's not to cover bodywork and like that. I just wanted to see what it looked like, and if I didn't like it, then I could re-sand it off and whatnot and retry it. But I do like this color, so leave that in the comments what you guys think. My bodywork turned out not too bad. Like I said, I just spent a lot more time on it. But at the end of the day, it's a Firewall. You won't see much of it. with the headers and the engine and everything and whatnot, so you won't see much of it. Like I said, I know those stickers you will see them, but like I said, I just want to put something just to break it up. When I first painted it, the color was like, but then I just needed something to break it up and just kind of give me some sort of perspective of what it's going to look like. So, and like I said, right here, it's not perfect, but my bracket covers that anyway, so that's why I didn't spend too much time on it. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy. And like I said, I bought a long time ago. It's NOS Mallory mag here, or I should say coil, like what I've got on my 55 there. So I'm going to be using that. That's going to get mounted somewhere close to the obviously the distributor. I'm not sure exactly where, but so that'll get mounted somewhere. Steering column parts come out, and yeah, I'm pretty excited. You know, starting to look like something. Like I said, after a while, this car will just start to fall together because all the hard work and stupid work is done. So, like I said, the next video will be all this stuff. Ryan's got the measurements. I do believe he took my piece of steel, so he's going to start working on that while I'm gone, and then I can start doing that. So the next video will be this. It will be done. I've got somewhere on over there in the bench somewhere there. Like I said, there's my I got new kingpins and all new bushings. So next video is going to be addressing this, and I'll jack it up, and we're going to paint the frame and everything else and clean up everything else underneath and fix all this stuff. Like all this, we'll make braces and all that. So anyway, guys, I think this is where I'm going to leave the video. I'm pretty excited. I like it. Like I said, it's out there for a color, so let me know what you guys think. I like it. It's just, you know, it's new to me, so whatever. It'll be a blue Henry J, that's for sure. So we got enough green cars in the fleet, so we don't need any more green cars. I can't stress that enough. I'm moving my hand there because I'm just saying we've got enough. So anyway, guys, as always, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, good or bad. And we'll definitely catch you guys on the next one. Adios.